Hi and welcome to this Garden Gnome software screencast. This screencast is looking at Pano2VR version 5 and its window arrangements. Now I've got Pano2VR Pro open here, and you can see we've got the viewer in the middle, and pinned around the outer edge of the viewer are all these panels, and it's the arrangement of these panels that we're talking about today. Now you have a panel per task you want to do. So for argument's sake, I have a user data panel, and that's where I would select this, and to enter my user data for my panorama, I've got a viewing parameters panel which I would select for setting the default view and things like that. So that said, they are what the panel. That's what panels are, and what I want to show you is the fact that you can change them, move them around, hide them, show them, undock them, dock them in other places to best suit your workflow, to try and customize or make Pano2VR customized to your own needs. Right, so the first thing I do want to show you though is that when you're doing this, it's possible to get lost and delete a panel. So I'm going to show you some quick tips about some keyboard shortcuts we've got, and the first one is Alt-1. If I press that Alt-1, you'll see that it actually puts back Pano2VR into its standard arrangement. Now Alt-1 is the keyboard shortcut for the Mac and the PC, and if we click on Window, highlight window arrangements, you can see standard, and you can see Alt-1, which is the funny symbol here is the Alt key on the Mac, but it's also Alt-1 on the PC as well. Now you can see we have another keyboard shortcut for hide panels. Now this hides all the panels, and it's Alt-Tab on the Mac and it's Control-Tab on the PC. And if I do that, Alt-Tab, because I'm on a Mac, they all hide and I can bring them back again. So that's quite a good tip. So if you do manage to lose a panel, so if I close all of those and move that around and chuck that over there, if I Alt-1, everything is back to standard. There you go. Right, okay, so what can I do with these panels? Right, well, each panel has its own close button and undock button, as well as you can hide and show it by using the buttons at the top here in the toolbar. But I'm going to undock the properties panel, and you can see it's now floating. Now I could actually undock them all, so all the panels are floating. So if I had a computer set up with 2 monitors, I could move all the panels over to one monitor and then have the viewer for patching and adding hotspots on a separate monitor. So you can customize it that way. I've only got one monitor to hand, so what I'm going to do here is I can click the dock button and put it back to where I got it from, or if I undock it again, I could actually slide it over and dock it this side. So when I slide it over, the whole of the area turns grey. If I release it, I'm now stacking this panel on top of the output and list view. There we go. And from Pano2VR 5.1 and above, you can actually click and drag these tabs so you can get them in the correct order or to best suit your needs. Okay, so I'm going to reselect the viewing parameters and again undock it. So the reason for that is that I want to show you that again I can either stack it on top of the existing panels, but I can also move it up or down, and we can dock it below the existing panels. So we have 2 panels showing on the right hand side. So we've got the stacked output and list view, and then the viewing parameters underneath it. Okay, right, so I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to Alt-1 to go back to my standard arrangement. Okay, now again, since version 5.1 and above, what we can do is when we grab a panel and pull it out, we actually grab all of the panels now. And the idea being that I could actually grab all the panels this side, and we can stack a floating set of panels. So again, I could make that a bit wider, and I could throw that over to a separate monitor. Or what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to dock them to the right hand side. So I've now got all of the panels on the right, giving me a nice big viewer on the left. Now I kind of like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save it to a keyboard shortcut. So I'm going to window arrangements and save, and I'm going to call this my layout. There we go. Now the idea is if I do Alt-1, take it back to the standard arrangement. Now Alt-2 takes me back to my layout, and I know it's Alt 2, but if I click Window Arrangements, we can see my layout now is under the keyboard shortcut Alt 2. Again, same for the PC, Alt 2. Right, okay. But I might decide that actually I want to perform a certain task. So I want a particular layout to do that task. So what I'm thinking is, if I Alt Tab, because I'm on the Mac, hide all the panels, I'm going to select the viewing parameters and user data, because what I want to do is have a window arrangement, so when I bring images into Pano2VR, the particular panels that I want will be available straight away. Now I don't like them to my right hand side, so I'm going to grab these, drag them over, and I'm going to dock them to the left of the viewer. There we go. And because I'm bringing in images, so I've got the, so I've got easy access now to my viewing parameters to set my default view, my user data for setting my user data to the image. I'm also going to bring in the tour map because I might want to add GPS data to the image as well. Okay, so this would be my, my input layout. So let's save that. Window arrangement, save, and let's call this input. So this is my input arrangement. Okay, so I can Alt 2 to go to my custom layout, and Alt 3 now goes to my input. Again, I can tell it's Alt 3 by going window arrangements. Input now has the keyboard shortcut Alt 3. As I add more custom layouts, so I get Alt 4, Alt 5 as my keyboard shortcuts. Okay, now I'm using the Pro version here, so I might have more than one input image. So I'm going to need the tour browser so I can switch between the input images. Now I want to save that to this particular layout, and the way you would do that is window arrangements, click save again, and just overtype the file name. So now when I Alt 2 to go to my custom arrangement, Alt 3, I now go back to my input arrangement. There you go. Okay, right, the last thing I want to show you now is what happens if I want to delete one. Now you probably saw that when we were clicking in the window arrangements, you see the delete one, but the interesting thing to note here, I'm going to delete my layout, and you'll see that the input layout or arrangement is Alt 3. So if I delete my layout and click OK, you'll now notice that the input one moves up to Alt 2. So basically it's keeping things in order. There you go. That's how to make custom arrangements in Pano2VR, and thanks for watching.